week's episode of Gundam Build Fighters Try. Team Tri Fighters finally get to have their big confrontation with Team SDR, the Shiki brothers, Kazuya, Toshiya, and Nobia, and they happen to be an expert in SD Gundam guerrilla war tactics. And this week they're going to be battling in a massive haunted castle. Just the setting of this week's battle makes this a really unique episode, and I love the fact that the actual castle is built to scale for the actual Gundams. So this is a really big freaking castle if you really think about it. But it makes for an interesting setting, and it also leaves room for a little bit of humor as well, because Yuma is a complete chicken shit when it comes to going into this castle. He's scared of ghosts, he doesn't like spooky things, and that causes him to truly be the weakest link in this week's episode. I really think that it was Fumina who really showed off this week, and I was still praying that she was going to show off her hidden abilities, which I still think is going to involve the star-winning Gundam transforming into a full-sized Gundam. But that seems to be the gimmick with the second season of Gundam Build Fighters, which is the combining of mobile suits and Gundams to create a brand new mobile suit. We've already seen it multiple times in this series right here, and a lot of the final battles, and even just with all the attachments that Star Winning can do. But this brings us to Team SDR, the three triplets, who are basically just an evil genius version of Huey, Dewey, and Louie. But I gotta say, I love their Gundams, and Gundam Build Fighters Try has really allowed me to appreciate SD Gundams, mostly because they just make them look really badass and they give them a lot of cool weapons and combining abilities, but you really get to see how unique they are in this week's episode. Despite the fact that their three Gundams happen to look nearly identical to each other, they do have separate names and abilities, and they do have a secret ability, which was definitely teased and pretty much just outright, shown right in the beginning of the intro, but still, getting to finally see it and have its name is awesome. So let's talk about Team SDR's Gunpla, which is unique to say the least. It's a team of 3 SD Gundams. They have a green military look to them, and they all have these different weapons on them, some of them very similar. They have these big cannons, one of them has this big shield, which looks like a dragon's face, which is your very first hint towards its special ability, and then they also have these weird claws which can come out from their chest, which can actually create this force field, this black force field, which they actually use to trap the Tri-Burning Gundam and the Lightning Gundam Full Burn-In. And it's really devastating because even when they try to escape, power up, or even fire beams at them, they can actually absorb this, and that's because they've actually adapted Sei Iori's original technique, the absorb system, and this actually powers them up even more, and they just completely unload on them. They're pretty much just going 187 on their asses. It's ridiculous. But this is when you realize that Fumina is going to be the one who is going to save them, and that's because she has a really hard time at the beginning of the episode, having to dodge all of their bombs and sticky bombs, which are placed all over the place. And this one scene did bother me. I think it's just a little cheesy and a little bit of a cop-out. At the very beginning of the battle, Fumina is dodging all of these bombs and all of these explosions, and she's flying through this hallway, and there's a scene where she gets trapped by all of the rubble, and then suddenly there is a landmine, a bomb, right in front of her, except that it's a timed one. Why didn't they just use another remote bomb if they wanted to destroy her so easily? I'll tell you why. Because it created tension in this week's episode, and you just kind of have to look the other way. Because you gotta admit, that was really cool when she came in and started to save the day, but this is when we got to see the full special ability of Team SDR's Gunpla, which is when they combine and transform into this massive 3-headed green dragon, which is known as the Snibal-Drago-Gira. And damn it, I want this one too. I know in the last week's episode, I really loved the Gundam Tryon 3, but I really like this one too, and I'm just shocked because it's SD style, and I've never really dug the whole SD Gundam thing, but like I've said, the show is making me appreciate them all the bit more, and just the actual look of this Gunpla looks really menacing and terrifying. It makes sense because they're in the bottom pit of this massive haunted castle. I cannot wait to see the next episode, and I'm really glad that they didn't finish the battle, because it's making this battle seem all the more important. This is really the first team they fought against that's really giving them some trouble, and the team that seems like they're going to be the most important. And they have a strong grudge against the Gunpla Academy, in particular the leader of the team. Their leader, Toshiya, really wanted to get into the Gunpla Academy, but he couldn't make it, and basically this is like his way of getting revenge against them. His hatred grew into the ultimate vengeance to create this amazing new Gunpla with his brothers, which, frankly, I just think is awesome. I love the look of it. I love the whole dragon head thing. The transformation sequence is classic and total super robot, kind of like what you saw with the Gundam Tryon 3, and just the fact that their Gundams combined together and that they're SD Gundams leads me to believe that the next episode is probably when we're going to see Fumina unleash her special ability, whether it be her actual Gundam transforming into a full-sized one, or her parts going to the other Gundams and helping them out. All I know is, I'm excited. I am really excited for this battle. So what's the rundown on this week's episode of Gundam Build Fighters Try, the Snibal-Drago-Gira, my friends? Oh man, does that thing look so awesome. I was just waiting for that the entire time. I'm like, when are they going to transform? When is it going to happen? And every single time I looked down at the bottom of the video and I saw that the episode was about to end, I'm like, oh, they're going to drag this out to the next episode. Yet I'm even more excited over that prospect because this has definitely been the biggest battle of the national tournament that we have seen thus far. And they did a really great job of teasing these guys and what their ability is going to be. I mean, they did sort of show off the silhouetted dragon in the intro, but when they showed their previous battles with them using the guerrilla war tactics and placing bombs all over the place, it still never hinted to the fact that they were going to transform into a big freaking mecha kaiju beast. That's just insane, and it looks really awesome as well. This week's episode also wasn't just all about the action. In fact, the first half of the episode was pretty much the build-up to the battle, and there was a lot of humor at the beginning of the episode where basically Shia confessed her love to Sekai. This pissed off Fumina. And then you have frickin' Gyanko, who just appears out of nowhere, who is so excellently and hilariously animated. She is such a funny character. And then that's when they're actually confronted by Team SDR, who basically tries to get up in their face. But Shia and Gyanko sort of represent Team Tri-Fighters there, which makes Fumina look kind of like a loser. But still, it's a scene that makes for a lot of laughs. And of course, it's just the build-up to Team SDR, like, analyzing Team Tri-Fighters, trying to figure out how to beat them, and ultimately how they're going to defeat Sekai, and a lot of that has to do with his abilities, where basically when he takes full control of the Gundam, the more powerful he gets, the more damage it does to to his body. They're trying to take advantage of that in this battle, and I'm not sure if that's actually going to involve the brand new Snibal-Drago-Gira, but still, it's awesome. It just looks really great. It's clearly their trump card. And that whole transformation sequence is definitely probably my favorite part of this week's episode. Aside from that, I loved the action. I especially loved the setting. The Haunted Castle setting was really great. It made for some really great laughs from Yuma. And just, there's never been a Gundam battle that's taken place in, like, a setting like this. And that's, again, just what makes this series so fresh and so unique, despite the fact that it's using upgraded old Gunpla that we've seen before. However, I'm not used to seeing these SD Gundams. I will say that they looked really good. This week's episode was flashy, it was awesome, there was humor, there was brand new Gunpla, there was tension. This week's episode was great, just like the rest of the series. It was a little slow in the first half of the episode, and some people will not care for that comedy. Despite that, I think this was a high-caliber episode of Gundam Build Fighters Try that you should definitely watch if you've been following the series. So I'm going to give this week's episode a 4 out of 5. That's right, guys. Really, really great episode right here. I'm even more excited to see more of the Gunpla transformations, and the Snibal-Drago-Gira is definitely one of the coolest Gunpla I have ever seen, period. It makes me want to see even more awesome Dragon Gundams. Just, that's always been one of the highlights of the series. So, there it is, guys. 4 out of 5. Check it out. Awesome stuff. Thank you guys for watching my review. If you like this video, how about giving it a thumbs up and liking the video? And before you guys leave, please tell me what you thought about this week's episode of Gundam Build Fighters Try. What did you think of Team SDR and their 3 SD Gundams? And what do you want to see from the rest of Gundam Build Fighters Try? And do you have a favorite Gundam or mobile suit that you want to see in the series? Please tell me in the comments section below. If you guys have not subscribed to our channel, you can do that by clicking on the channel icon right up here. It's really easy to do, and that way you can see all of our latest anime and manga reviews, and even our brand new podcast show. We just released episode 2. You should definitely check that out. You can also follow us on social media like Facebook and on Twitter. And some really great ways you can help support our channel is by using our PayPal link. If you would like to make a donation, you can. Or you could use our Amazon bookmark. Whenever you guys make a purchase on Amazon, it will help support our channel. So use our bookmark. It'll help us out a lot, and we'd really appreciate it. But the best way to help out and support our channel is to simply watch our videos and share them with your friends. Thank you guys for watching. Super Kami Guru 9000 out. so many amazing Gunpla in this series, and it pisses me off because all these models are coming out and it is just going to destroy my wallet.